Hello people, it's your boy Usman back again with another video. This time it's Manchester United, the first game of the season, preview against West Ham, your flipping hammers. Oh, San Hernandez, I'm flipping gutted still, but firstly, let's talk about Manchester United v Real Madrid in the Super Cup. Of course, we lost that game 2-1. Just a couple of things I want to point out. Firstly, Jose Mourinho's formation was 4-3-3. I've been banging on about how we need to play 3-5-2. What the hell do I know? Jose went for 4-3-3. Also been banging on about how I don't feel like Matic is flipping capable of playing in the 4-3-3 because he's too slow. Both things kind of prove me wrong. But firstly, obviously, we lost 2-1. Goals from Isco, who was absolute phenomenal on the day. And also Casemiro, probably a bit of offside there. However, let's be honest, Real Madrid definitely deserved both the goals. And in the second half, we got a goal from Lukaku after he missed an absolute shocker of a chance, which was an open net. But just want to quickly point out the fact that this is Real Madrid, people. Let's not overreact and start thinking it's doomsday and we're going to be absolutely shocking in the league, because no team is going to be able to play us off the park in the manner in which Real Madrid did. They were absolutely phenomenal, as you would expect. They're currently the best club in the world, so I'm not reading too much into that loss. Yes, we were played off the park. You could say boys v men at times. However, like I said, it's the best team in the flipping world, literally, and they only beat us 2-1. Yes, I understand they dominate the game. However, we dug in deep, and in the second half, in particular, the last 25 minutes, we could have actually put it into extra time. We should have put it into extra time. Lukaku obviously missing that open net. He did get a goal. Rashford obviously missing that absolute sitter. But again, we didn't deserve anything from that game. So just want to quickly point out some of the flaws in that game. Main thing being the fact that we didn't press the midfield enough at all. I did say in my preview that the only sort of opportunity we have got to be successful against Real Madrid was not give time on the ball to Modric and Kroos. What the hell do we do? We give time on the ball to Modric and Kroos, and they absolutely picked us apart. That's something we could not afford other teams with a similar caliber of players, especially in the middle of the park, to do, because obviously that's just going to happen on a regular basis. Other teams would have looked at the game and just thought, no, if we can do this against Manchester United, keep the ball successfully. Man City spring to mind because obviously they got Pep Guardiola, so I'm assuming they're going to try to do a similar thing when we play them later on in the season. However, the positives is Real Madrid. Let's be honest, if that was any other team, we would not be getting dominated like that. There's not many teams in world football that can actually keep the ball as well as Real Madrid. Also, the sole positives I can take is the fact that we stayed in the game for such a long period of time. Yes, we was getting dominated. However, we didn't go 3 or 4 behind like Arsenal probably would have, because you know they get absolutely battered on the regular by the big clubs in Europe. We dug in, and we actually, in the 25 minutes, we probably should have taken it to extra time. Like I said, Rashford missed those chances. But there's a lot of positives to take from that game. A couple of standout performances, in particular, Matic for me was absolutely phenomenal. Yes, I was saying he can't play in the 4-3-3 because he's too slow. Yeah, well, he kind of dismissed that flipping theory that I had. It was absolutely phenomenal. If anything, he was definitely our best player. I would actually say Smalling was quite good as well. Although we were getting peppered constantly, I thought Smalling had a good game as well. So it's very good for Smalling and his confidence, given the fact that we've got a couple of injuries in that, and also Lindelof doesn't look up to scratch at the moment, let's be honest. But anyway, let's talk about Manchester United v West Ham. First and foremost, I do not think we're going to get dominated by West Ham. If anything, it's going to be the other way around, and I'm expecting us to keep the ball, and that is really going to play into Pogba's sort of strength, so to speak. I felt a bit sorry for Pogba. Yes, I was very critical of Pogba in that game because I just don't think he did enough. However, looking back in hindsight, what the hell can you actually do if you're getting outplayed by players like Modric and Kroos? You're just going to be chasing shadows throughout the whole game, and that's basically what Pogba and Herrera were doing. Although Matic was definitely good for me, I just think Pogba and Herrera had absolutely no chance whatsoever against that kind of midfield. They didn't even get given an opportunity to get close to the ball, let alone obviously intercept and make any tackles. Bearing that all in mind, Pogba was still the player on the pitch who made the most tackles, you know, basically out of anyone on the flipping pitch, especially for Man United. So I suppose there's some positives just all around in general. But yeah, going into the game against West Ham, I'm thinking we're going to be dominating this game. Honestly, looking at what we can do on the break at times against Real Madrid, even when we looked like we were going to threaten to score, we probably should have scored at least 2, even 3 touching. Obviously, I'm not saying that we deserve to score 3, but we had the Lukaku chance, the Rashford chance, and there's a couple of other situations that if certain individuals, not going to name any names, Pogba, should have played the ball into Mkhitaryan, and probably could have got another goal there. Just a bit of decision making and lack of quality in the final third did let us down. However, I'm assuming, I'm expecting us to be a lot better than West Ham and in general throughout the whole season. If anything, that game's kind of encouraged me to think that yes, this is the best team in Europe. However, we only lost 2-1 to the best team in Europe. I think that if we bring the same sort of tenacity and desire to flipping stay in the game into the Premier League, we should be fine against the likes of West Ham and other teams in the league, especially the lower teams on the counter. We were absolutely flipping frightening at times. But yeah, so some of the things that I want to see change, first and foremost, pace on the bloody wing. A lot of people hating on Jose or criticising Jose for his use of Lingard. For me personally, I think that was a necessity. You had to play Lingard in that first half in particular to nullify the attack from Bale, and that's exactly what happened. I don't know if you can recall any sort of opportunities Bale had in that first half, because I can't really recall Bale having any impact in that first half. That was mainly because Jesse Lingard was deployed as a second wing back or a left back or whatever you want to class as. It was a defensive flipping minded sort of positioning from Jose Mourinho's part. Obviously, you're going to play Lingard to double up on Bale. That's just common sense. I don't understand why people are criticising Jose for that or hating on Lingard in general, because at the end of the day, he was there to do a job. He did his job. Yes, he wasn't good going forward. However, he was more for the defensive duty, and he did that. Jose took him off at second half and the half-time mark, which I agreed with. However, sometimes, look, at the end of the day, right, we've got a big squad. You've got to utilise all the players in the squad. Jesse Lingard's in there to do a job, and that's exactly what I did in the first half. I don't think Jesse Lingard should be a starter for Man United against West Ham or teams in which that we should be dominating. However, teams like Chelsea, Arsenal, maybe not Arsenal, but Chelsea, Man City, the better teams in Europe as well. We need to be, thinking about how we can nullify their attack as well as, going forward ourselves. So that's exactly what Jose did. Sometimes you got to do that in football. Flipping Fergie used to do all the time with Part G songs, so I don't understand why people are crying about the sort of fact that Lingard is in the game instead of Martial. I completely understand the frustration with Martial not coming on. That was my frustration as well. I think Martial definitely should have came on at some point during the game. He's still Fellaini on. I didn't agree with that. However, playing Jesse Lingard at the start was not a mistake. It actually, I probably would have done the same if I'm being honest. I think I did actually. Yeah, I did in my preview. There you go. Usman knows best. Anyways, let's talk about our lineup and what I think we should do against West Ham. Just going to stick to 4-3-3 because I don't see why he's going to go to 3-5-2 now. I think that'd be absolutely flipping baffling if he was to keep flip-flopping from the formations. We need to just stick to one formation and just ride with it. I don't really give a damn. As long as it's not the 4-2-3-1, I don't really care because that just doesn't give us any sort of manoeuvrability and it doesn't allow Pogba to have that freedom. A couple of things I just want to pick up on. Mkhitaryan in particular in the second half was considerably better in the whole, in and around Lukaku as a second striker, a centre forward position, whatever you want to call it, like a calm free roam basically. On the wing, yes, I love Mkhitaryan. However, in that flipping middle of the park, he's just another beast. Honest to God, we need to somehow get a system that allows Mkhitaryan to play in the middle of the park, because I just think that's where we can get the best out of him, especially in the second half. Even against Real Madrid, he was causing havoc, finding those sort of pockets of space in and around the box, and obviously in front of the back four and behind the midfield, just behind where Casemiro was. He was absolutely utilising that flipping space, and he was actually creating chances. That's kind of where we need to see Mkhitaryan if we need to get the best out of him this season. I think the only way we can actually get away with that is actually playing a 3-5-2. However, Jose wants to stick to 4-3-3, so that's what I'm going to do as well. So this is my team for Manchester United against West Ham on the weekend. First game of the season. In net, David De Gea. Right back, Antonio Valencia. Centre back, I think Bay might be suspended. I didn't actually pick up on that in my last video. I think Bay is still suspended, so I'm going to go for, if he's not suspended, obviously I'm playing Bay. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to say Smalling and Lindelof. Because there's not really any other options, to be honest. I think Smalling, like I said, had a decent game. Lindelof was a bit shaky. However, in his time, people need to stop criticising him. The guy has just come from flipping Benfica. What do you expect him? We're going to hit the ground running and be an absolute revelation. We're not all Bays, okay? So yeah, Smalling and Lindelof. Left back, this is where I have a bit of frustration. And this is kind of where some of the sort of frailties are currently lying at the moment. Yes, I've said all the time Darwin's underrated. However, his inability to go forward is really costing us just general width, to be honest with you. Because on the right, Valencia actually gives us width because he actually bombs forward. But the fact that flipping Darwin doesn't go forward, and if he does, it's not effectively, it's really flipping stagnating our attacks. It's very predictable. Most of the time, it's just one player there. So just hypothetically speaking, if it's Lingard or Martial, it's just them on their own. They haven't got any options. They haven't got an overlapping run just to take a defender away or just give him another option to play down the line. Basically, he's either going to take 2 or 3 players on, or he's going to pass it inside, and most of the times they're passing inside, because every time they try and take 2 or 3 players on like Rashford did, they get tackled by the third player. So you can't really blame them too much. And we haven't got an overlapping fullback. It's very important, especially for Man United, that fullbacks push forward. So unfortunately, because Luke Shaw is currently still injured, we're going to have to stick to playing Darmian. To be fair, I would rather have Ashley Young there, just on the fact that we can go forward, because I'm not expecting West Ham to dominate us on the ball. So we need to be pushing further up the field and actually going for it, because that's kind of what I want to see with Man United. I don't want to see us playing this sort of defensive and cautious type of football, so to speak, this season. Anyway, so we're sticking with Dortmund for the time being. Midfield three, I don't see why we change it. Herrera, Matic and Pogba. I thought Matic was phenomenal. I definitely think he's got the capabilities of proving me wrong, and probably quite a few other people wrong. He was just absolutely phenomenal in everything he did, and you got to remember this was against a very good Real Madrid team, and he didn't really look out of place whatsoever. So I'm very happy and sort of just surprised, to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting him to be as good as he was. However, it's only one game. Hopefully he can keep up to the similar caliber of performance, because if he does, we've definitely signed an absolute flipping phenomenal player. And cheers, Chelsea, you've really sorted this out, I'm not going to lie. Anyways, keeping with that midfield three, Mkhitaryan on the right, but this is what I want to see from Mkhitaryan, very similar to what Juan Mata does when he plays on the right. I want him to drift inside in the middle of the park as often as can, basically give him a free roll. I don't want him to be staying on the wing because I just don't think we get the best out of Mkhitaryan. I think he goes in and out of games a lot when he's just sat on the wing. If anything, I want him to come inside field more consistently and play a bit similar to what Isco did, who was absolutely phenomenal in that game against us. And I want Valencia to basically be almost like a right mid. So I want Valencia to have that free roll or free roam of actually bombing up as far as he possibly can and get one of the CDMs, i.e. Matic or Herrera, to cover Valencia every time he goes forward. Obviously, I know they'll do that anyways, but I just want Valencia to have a bit more freedom going forward, which would then free Mkhitaryan to come in the middle of the park and actually impact the game more frequently. On the left wing, it has to be Martial for me. We're playing against West Ham, so I don't see why we'd go with Lingard. Want to play attacking football, especially at Old Trafford, first game of the season. Let's just go for it. Why not? I'm not throwing Lukaku. Again, he had a couple of stupid moments. The offside one, everyone knows what happened there when he ran to the ball when he shouldn't have. And obviously there was another situation in the second half again. He made a stupid decision. But these things happen. He's flipping young. He's going to learn. Yes, I understand he missed an absolute flipping sitter. However, he did get a goal and he kind of gave us something to, you know, just sort of motivate us and galvanise us in the last 25 minutes. So I suppose if he gets us the goals, here's what it is. You gotta take the bad and the good at the same time. Okay, so let's just quickly talk about West Ham. First things first, what can I flipping say? They signed one of my favourite players, Hernandez, Chicharito, the little P, whatever you want to call him. What a player and what a signing that is for West Ham. They've also signed a couple of City rejects in Joe Hart, who's an absolute waste man. I'll put him on fantasy football mind, so I don't know what I'm shit. And also Zabaleta, who should really get flipping violated by Anthony Martial, sorry. Yeah, so I'm not really worried about Zabaleta because he's absolute flipping shit. Joe Hart, again, he's average as hell, so don't really care about either of them two. And they also got Arnautovic, which is a very good scalp for them. They've got Antonio, Lanzini. I'm not sure if Noble's going to be playing, but you know, they've got quality in their team. They could definitely cause a bit of trouble on the break, if not just general football. Every time we play against West Ham, I don't really know what to expect. They're a very good team. I'm expecting them to come at least 8th this season. So, you know, this is going to be a hard game, make no mistake about it. However, because it's the first game of the season at Old Trafford, I'm expecting the players to come out all guns blazing and basically flipping blow them away. That's what I'm expecting, especially after the Real Madrid game. You know, the players have to step up now. Herrera's already said, you know, we can't really do anything about it. We have to just focus on the Premier League. Pogba said the same. Jose said the same. So, boys, let's not talk. Let's flipping turn up on the flipping Sunday and actually do the business, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter about the performance early on in the season. We just need to get the 3 points on the board. We need to get off to a good start like we did last season, but we just need to build that momentum and just give a bit of confidence back into the players, because, you know, I can tell they're already being a bit hard on themselves. It is Real Madrid. I'm not too disheartened by the fact that we got outplayed by them. I can hold my hands up. They were completely the better team, but that is expected. They are the best team in the world. Make no mistake about it. Yeah, so West Ham, danger man. Arnautovic for me is definitely going to be someone to watch out for. Lanzini, quality. I think he scored past us last season, if I'm not mistaken. And also that man Hernandez is a fox in the box. We all know about Hernandez. Don't really need to go into detail with him, but we're definitely going to have to mark him closely because he is definitely a potential threat. That other side, I think we should be winning this game comfortably. I know I've said West Ham are going to be a hard game, but for me personally, I've been very impressed with the pre-season. If we just continue to play with confidence and actually play without fear and actually allow our players to have a bit of freedom, especially Mkhitaryan to drift in and around the middle of the park, I just think we're going to blow them away. We're going to have too much for them. Get the bust out of Pogba as well. Give him a free roll. It looks like that's going to happen with Matic there. I'm flipping confident for this season. I'm not going to lie. The prediction video will be out tomorrow. I'm going to have a special guest for that. So keep an eye on that also. But regarding Man United West Ham, I'm going to go for 3-1 Man United. Like I said, I think it's going to be a comfortable victory. I think Mkhitaryan will definitely get a goal. Martial will get a goal and Lukaku will get a goal. And for them, it's going to have to be flipping Hernandez, isn't it? It's going to be Hernandez or Arnautovic because they tend to score. But and now it's tends to score against Man United. But Hernandez, I won't be surprised if he gets a flipping goal. But yeah, that was sad. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Feel free to drop a like. It is the first flipping preview of the new season, so by all means, leave your comments. What do you think Man United are going to do this season? Leave your score prediction, all that good stuff, your team selection, what you agree with, disagree with what I've said. Apart from that, take care, enjoy your weekend. If you're new, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's been your boy, man. Take care. Come on, United!